How to design, manufacture, and install kitchen cupboards.
Hi there, we trust that you are warm and well, and welcome back to our next video. You are welcome to join us on this kitchen renovation that we will be doing for this client in Kuils River, Cape Town. So you will soon hear what the client is expecting, and we will then show you how we execute this with meticulous detail.
There where the plant is, the corner, and then cupboards on top of that, starting from where that vanity case is. And here, as you can see, no cupboards on top, like I said, just the bottom ones. And as you can see there, we would like the stove where the gas stove is now. And then in the corner, the pantry thing, and next to the pantry we would like the fridge, and then cupboards right through, and then so we can place the microwave and the kettle somewhere there.
So this is the zinc that will be used, and it's a drop-in zinc. You can find it in your local second-hand store or so on. Sometimes the client also would like to save money, and we can help out in terms of that. So basically the zinc that they currently have is not a drop-in, and that is why you need a different zinc. So this is the call out that was done, and we are assessing the work that now needs to be done. We also come with samples. As you can see over here, this is for the countertops. And we usually charge about 350 Rand. That is anywhere outside of Belhar area, but we can negotiate a little bit here and there. So obviously we did send the client the ballpoint figure, more or less of what they wanted, or rather the costing to what they wanted, as you heard the client speaking in the voice note. So you can give us a call, you can let us know any design that you want, any color. We will come with the latest trends, and we will assess what needs to be done, and we take it from there. So every job always starts with before photos. So here we gave a suggestion to the client that they wanted white cupboards with white edging, but we maybe told them if you go with black it can break it a little bit. This was from a previous job, and they agreed with that, and you will see later what the black edging does. It just adds a nice effect to your normal standard white cupboards. This is your hardware that's needed, your hinges, handles, basically your plastic legs that will lift the cupboard, elevate it.
As you can see, Darren, I'm busy with your order. We're starting with a PVC.
Communication is key.
That's your order there, sir. The big piece are your PVC. And there's your doors that's gonna fit the 1 inch. So just give you a heads up. The guys are busy edging your stuff.
So this is your raw material that is needed. You obviously heard what happened in the factory. And the beautiful birds are chirping. It's a beautiful day. All the wood has arrived. We can see everything beautiful arranged in order. And this is what we do here at the Wyman. We go behind the scenes so you can see the raw footage. It's not just, plug it in and Bob's your uncle. It's actually a big puzzle, a proper puzzle that you need to more than 100 pieces. But it's therapeutic if you think about it. That is why we hope when you are watching this, it also becomes kind of relaxing, that everything gets put together. Here you can see the setup of assembly now. And it's always best to go with battery powered because, in South Africa, you never know with load shedding. You want the job to continue. It's not just, you can take screws and a drill and put it together. You need to know spacing. You need to know which side is going to be visible to the eye. So you don't put screws on that side, because here at the Wyman we design cupboards where you don't see the screws. Whenever you're looking from the outside, whatever angle, you will see the color of your choice that you choose and also not screws. So those things you need to take into account while you assemble. Obviously the edging over here, this will just be, that's minor things. Sometimes they do edge the wrong side, or things just get, we want things to be perfect, but there's no such thing as perfect. But that we will definitely do at the end. We will show you that. You definitely want to put a hardboard on your cupboards because this just seals it nicely against the wall. You don't have any gaps there with some ants or anything that come through from the back of the cupboard. Sometimes your wall is never straight, so it's nice to always go with packing. Here you can see the special cuts that was used for the corner cupboard. And once again, we would really like that you can like and share, subscribe, because we're making this footage for you to show you behind the scenes of how things get done. And we hope that you like it, original footage. And we will continue doing that with many other things, showing you raw, unfiltered, just behind the scenes. You need to know how to cut these angles. You need to have a vision in your mind that, that shows you, okay, this is how the cupboard is going to look when it's assembled. So those things, it just comes, how do I say, photographic memory, if you want to call it. Obviously, you could go for a premium package at the Wyman, which would be these heavy duty runners you see over here. This was used for the pot rows, but we could also use that for your normal cutlery, so on, knives and forks. But obviously it costs more. So you have a choice of a premium package or just your normal basic package. But with pots or any other heavy drawers, whether you put plates or maybe mugs in there and so on, then we need to use heavy duty runners. The clients nowadays all like to have drawers, and you can pack your plates in there. You can pack basically anything you want. So you can see the assembly getting done. You are basically on site with us. We always like it when the client gives the guys now something to eat, It's always appreciated. It shows us the client appreciates the work, because sometimes you put in hours that you will soon see late hours, maybe just after sunset or so on, just to finish, finish for the day or the weekend. We don't work weekends. So maybe if it's a Friday, we'll put in that extra hours just to make the kitchen practical for the weekend, that the client can use it or whatever the case may be. So we will maybe work a bit later. But other days we will maybe also work a bit later in order to finish the job. Maybe it's the last day and we will maybe push to get it done, so that we can get it done in one day instead of 2 days, because we are near the end of the job. So you can see all the special cuts that needs to be taken into account, and that is what we obviously need to think about as we're assembling. Here we are heading to the zinc now, and we are finally putting the cupboards in place, the new cupboards. The pantry cupboard will obviously be from the ground to the ceiling. Okay, so we can see things are basically starting to take shape, and this will be moved to the zinc side. Obviously later on in the video you will see how we will attack the zinc side, where we will remove that cupboard, then we can just move that cupboard in place. And here you're looking at the special cut now for the pantry cupboard. So the reason why we assemble everything first is that you won't have a day without your zinc. We will just remove the old one, put the new one in the same day. That's why we have the cupboard already assembled. We just move it out of the way. So this is probably the pantry cupboard door, and the cupboards or the doors and so on doesn't damage when it is on the ground like that. You don't have to worry. So now you can see the puzzle, most of the pieces are missing, or rather not missing, but obviously assembled, and that is a good sign. So the most important thing now is the pantry cupboard, which sometimes you must maybe always leave the troublesome for last. Maybe you attack it first. So here you're looking at the heavy duty pot drawers. This is obviously your drawers for your knives and your forks. You will basically have your zinc in the middle over there, and this is just a tool you can use to smooth the cuts after you use a jigsaw, and this just makes it look nice. So the pantry cupboard is obviously being assembled, and it's just nice knowing that the designs are falling into place. Everything that you thought in your head when you designed it took into account this and that, the walls, that everything is working smoothly. It's a good feeling and a nice challenge, if I have to say. So here we are basically now assembling the pantry. There it's in position. Obviously the shelves will come into place now, and the client opt for it just standing like that. There's an extra cost if you obviously want, like I say, the premium package, which would be now till the ceiling, where you box it in. But yeah, because it's a more tricky, that can be a day alone just to do that, because the ceilings don't run straight. There's just many challenges that you can struggle with just by doing the boxing into the ceiling. So this is your hinges that will be used, and you get different types of hinges. You get a 180 degree, which you can see over here, which is for your corner cupboards. You get a 90 degree and also an offset hinge. So all depending on the cupboards, like your pantry cupboard, you can see the door is a 45 degree. So you will use a special 45 degree hinge for that. So do like and subscribe, guys, or share, because we're giving you a lot of secrets. This is all the knowledge that was acquired over the years. So don't you think it's only fair that you can just reward us by just liking, subscribing, sharing our content mostly, so we can get that audience that will also just appreciate what we are doing, because we're going behind the scenes, just showing you raw footage here, showing you this so that you cannot get ripped off, and hopefully you can give us some work as well. Phone us, because obviously we want more work, want more content. And this is one of the photos where you can see now at night just working here. We don't obviously work till too late. Yeah, you can see we always clean up when we are done. We always make sure the place is nice and tidy. And you can see we're tackling the zinc for last because we obviously don't want the client to be without a zinc. However, all the cupboards is done, the carcass and so on. And here we're telling the client now finally what to get for the plumbing, because we are ready to tackle the zinc. And yeah, so the client will provide everything. Sometimes we might, depending on what kind of zinc or so on, we might just fit it for a small cost, or sometimes for free. But you know, sometimes the client comes now with a complicated zinc thing and things need to be done. Piping needs to be fitted lower down and so on. Here we're showing you once again bedroom cupboards that you can also order from us. And it's just nice now, the new modern look where they change a door here and there. So it does the trimming also. So that was by the suppliers. We just saw all the countertops being cut beautifully to size, as you can see over here. And obviously I can't give all my secrets away, but this is my good relationship that I have with him. And definitely will go there throughout my days of doing cupboards and so on. So as you can see, we are ready now for the plumbing, and we're gonna finally take this zinc out over here. So if you do have cupboards like this, old cupboards, you must know already that things are kindly rotten or whatever the case may be. So maybe it's time to call us, let us do your cupboards for you. Let's put new stuff in there. You don't have to worry with any rodents or just some strange things you might find there, insects and so on. There might even be eggs. That is, you know, that is where we also step back and we get someone who is professional for these things to fumigate. And you know, we seal everything, no holes, no gaps out from outside, inside when you do the plumbing, because this is how they get in. And obviously if your wood is moist and just a little bit moldy and so on, this is where they originate, their birthplace. So give us a call. It's time to let us do your plumbing for you. New cupboards, no more rotten things, and trying to make a plan with that. It needs to taken out and new cupboards. And obviously waterproofed. That is number one. Waterproof, where you will never ever have a problem again. We can definitely guarantee you that for 10, 20 years, 30 years and so on. That is what's doing it normal post form. You don't need to really worry with granite. Unless you obviously want that route, we can definitely do it for you. It's not a problem. But post form, in other words the wood countertops, that is also not a problem if you do it correctly. So this is the beautiful tops that you can see. And we've obviously made friends with the dog. And a dog is a man's best friend. Never forget that. So you can see everything fitting nicely, snugly in place. And here we are busy with the plumbing now, assessing what needs to be done. So obviously going forward, definitely plumbing can't be done for free because there's just a lot of intricate things that needs to be taken into account. So that is how a lot of these jobs need to be completed. A lot of thinking, a lot of common sense, a lot of general knowledge. You need to see the end picture, vision in your mind while you assembling, while you doing this and that, it's not so trivial. So definitely give us a call and we can do whatever you want in terms of cupboards. That is our specialty. We can do the plumbing for you. You get these nice zincs that can basically wash your glasses. That has like a jet push-up thing, with a jet water thing and just different features. We can source the zinc for you. You can get it. We can just charge you a small rate to fit it. Here at the Wyman, we all win. That is the main goal. So give us a call. Our number will be at the end and we can get right to that. So obviously the special cuts now needs to be done, and that is basically cutting the hole in the countertop, which will be for your zinc and so on. And what you want to do is you want to try and cut it maybe as close as possible to the back, so that you also have maybe some more counter space in front of the zinc. It doesn't have to be in the center of the countertop, which you saw in that photo, the cutout. And this is, more space the better. That is how we're showing you here at the Wyman how we utilize it the best. So now you can even put a glass in front of the zinc. You can hang a nice cloth there. It doesn't matter, because it's waterproofed. So you just have extra space in front of your zinc, which you will see. So this is some maybe adjustments that maybe needs to be done. It's custom cupboards, so you can just go back to the supplier, have a little bit of cuts there. That is what shows the relationship. So what you saw there again is basically some things that was done in the workshop, was cut to size, and you saw also the samples that they have. And here we are loading now. We are ready for site. We're showing you how some of the deliveries get done. If the order is very big, then obviously we will do it by truck, but sometimes we can just manage with a nice work bakkie. So this is the aluminium kick plates, what will be used at the bottom of the cupboards. This is to elevate it from the ground, as you can see over there, and this just protects it maybe from water and so on, just in case there's a little bit of a disaster or so on. Someone spills a bucket, or the dogs maybe kick the bucket over the water bucket for the floor to wash it, then it's just protected. Obviously you get different colors, you get aluminium, you get black. All depends on what the client wants. So you can see you pay for obviously all this to be done. It's not like something where you can just plug. However, we can just do this entire job in 3 days because that is the experience we have. We could even assemble the cupboards at our own workplace and just deliver and fit All depends on the clients. We can have the wood be delivered at your place and we will come and assemble. Obviously trust is the main thing and we will earn that trust. That is what we do at the wine, we earn it. So we make sure everything is done to meticulous detail, like we said at the beginning. That is your broom cupboard, where you can pack your broom in, your mop and so on, and still have packing space on top for anything. We obviously utilize the space as best. This roof or ceiling had an angle to it and the client was initially planning on doing the roof over as well after our cupboards. So that is basically drilling the holes for the handles. Where you're looking at the corner cupboard, and we will obviously make it accessible with taking ergonomics into account. And you can see the plumbing that was done over there with the zinc. Because of that, we obviously had to make a plan with a drawer of opening it, but you will see later on how we figured that out. So that's why we say here at the YMN, things sometimes are not so trivial. We need to figure things out as you go along. You know, it's nice when the designs work out. The cupboards will always work out according to designs because obviously that's standard and it will always be designed square and that, so you know when things are not looking flush or that, then you know the wall is out, or maybe walls are skew, ceilings are skew, and that is where your skill needs to come in now to counter for that. But we always like it when the clients opt for just installing it like this and not till the ceiling, because it's just obviously less work, like we say, less cutting, because we don't like that special cuts on our own, you know. So the corner cupboards we have to, but when you do the ceiling, it's a lot of cutting you need to do on your own in order to fit it. But all the other wood obviously gets cut by machines that you see, and it comes delivered where you just assemble. Hopefully everything goes according to plan to the designs. We obviously always also ask the client which way you want your doors to open and close, and they will then choose that. So the client will obviously now get the other stove, is what they said. They will also get their own spice rack thing by maybe Chalma or wherever Boulders. Yeah, so they will basically finish that off. Basically, I left the door for them how they wanted it, and they will fit the oven. I left the spacing there. They're just using gas for now. So you can see everything is packed. And this is the heavy duty runners that's on here. So you can see now you can put plates in there, you can put pots, basically anything, even an air fryer, it will work. And look at the ergonomics of how the door opens for your corner cupboard. And you don't have to worry, because if you do this correctly and you screw it in properly, your doors will never sag or so on. This is much better than piano hinges, it's much neater. You don't see piano hinges. So it's much better than having both doors opening separately. What I'm referring to, the corner cupboard. It's just nice. You can open one door and it does the job. So here you're looking at the drawers, and you saw the top drawer was that special drawer that you had to plan for the zinc, the plumbing. And yeah, you can see there double zinc now, drop-in zinc. The client got a new tap. So you can see no leaks, and this is the waterproofing that we spoke about. We'll make sure they're 100%. Once, twice, 3 times there's no leaks. Obviously we put stop valves on here also at your zinc, so you don't have to go to your main water supply outside the home all the time. We make it very simple and we do it properly. So the washing machine you saw in the middle, that is where that connect, that flexible hose. And there you go. Everything looking neat, fitting nicely. Please do like and subscribe. This shows us that you really like the content. It shows us you want more. It shows me that I must make haste with more content, because the people are wanting, they're liking, they're subscribing, they're sharing. So I appreciate that.
More how-to videos link in the bio.